What's up, guys? It's your boy Tapio Zimamba, also known as the Fitness Doctor, and I'm joined by Amal. Yeah.
Hi everyone, super excited to be here.
Yeah.
Come a long way with this guy.
I-
He supported Shake and Toss on day one. He was actually there speaking. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember. Hey, that was scared.
I was more scared.
You think so?
I was more scared. I mean, it's a pioneering brand, and just not even knowing where this thing was going to end up was the scariest thing of my life. But people like you really helped me just stay balanced and know that if these guys can come and support me, these big guys,
Listen to you.
this thing is going somewhere.
Wow.
So I really appreciate you a lot, and
That's
it's an honor
amazing.
to be here and to be next
She's
leveling.
representing the
Next
brand.
leveling.
So, guys, this is Amal. Tell us about yourself before I even start spoiling stuff. Tell us about yourself. What you
Okay,
do, what you're about, what Shake and Toss is about. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a lot of things. I'm in construction for one. I'm a construction professional.
Okay.
So I studied quantity surveying and construction engineering at university. So that's my primary profession.
Okay.
That's what really takes a lot of my time.
Okay.
So Shake and Toss is really birthed out of a passion that I had for health and fitness.
Okay.
It was birthed at a time when I was an emotional and mental mess, and I was literally looking for something that I would be able to do that would help me realize my potential, because I just didn't think that I had it in me to succeed at anything at the time.
Really?
So yeah, I literally had that. There was that time in my life when I was like, geez, why am I actually here? Like, I've tried this and it's failed. I've got these two kids and I have nothing to show for my life. And what am I going to offer them? Like, what kind of an example am I going to be for them? I need to fix me.
And when did this happen? Like, when did this moment come where you felt like, is it like some years back or?
Yeah, it was some years back. Believe it or not, I was a 36-year-old that had nothing.
Guys, can you hear? She's saying 36-year-old.
I had nothing.
Okay, these guys, I think they're shocked how old you are if you're saying you're 36 at the time. Okay, we'll talk about that.
We are not revealing ages yet.
All right, we're not revealing. Okay, we won't reveal age. But guys, you'll be shocked. Eh?
I was a 36-year-old that I had nothing.
Wow.
You know, I
Wow.
had no degree. What God has been able to do for me in the last 10 years is absolutely astounding. So within the last 10 years, from this time when I was saying to you, I was just in a really bad space. I've managed to get my degrees.
Wow.
I've managed
Degrees.
to...
There's an S to it.
I
Wow.
managed to start businesses, managed to own stuff, and literally it was speed and acceleration. Like what I was supposed to have achieved, maybe
God
in
made
say,
you catch up.
yeah,
It was not playing
like
catch
I
up.
literally feel like it was catch up because it was so fast in such a short space of time that a lot of people who've probably spent most of their life trying to do this, or like in their
May not even
50s, 60s,
achieve
have
what
not been
you've
able
achieved.
to achieve. And literally what I should have done in like 20 years, I was able to condense all of that in
Wow.
like 8 years.
Shucks, like that's what we call Godspeed, eh?
Yeah.
So what are the things that, okay, this is Amal feeling like I'm at a breaking point. I don't know what to do for my kids. I don't know what to provide for them. What got you back up? Like, what are the things that ended up leading to this Amal that we're witnessing now?
Okay, so it started off really funny because, like I was saying, the first thing that came to mind, this is before even God, even even being inspired to get born again and start walking my life with Jesus, was a desire to just do more for myself. And one of the things that I thought to myself was, at this point where I am now, what is it that I have access to that can help me build myself mentally and get me to a place where I have built confidence to be able to do stuff.
Okay.
Because remember, I have nothing. I have no degree, I have nothing, can't even get myself a job.
Okay.
You know, I can only just hustle on the streets, maybe like, you know, change some money. And I used to change money, believe it or not.
Serious? You're shocking even me too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but don't tell others, okay? Just keep this.
Okay.
Just, you know, one day I'll be, you know, on international TV and you're like, yeah, just change money. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, so I remember I was staying with my mom at the time and she had these containers, you know, the 2-liter juice containers. So I took those because I figured, you know, let me get a good board. I mean, if I can get myself a good body.
So are you saying in the time you did not have a good body?
No, well, it wasn't bad. I wasn't obese or anything like that.
Okay.
But it wasn't obviously toned and fit and whatnot.
Okay.
It was okay. It was, you know, an average good body still.
Okay.
So, but I thought, you know what, if I can like get a killer one, you know, let's see, let's try.
I can just meet all these people out here.
I mean, if I can meet all these people and I achieve it, I can transfer the same principles into something else, whether it's my studies or whatever.
Wow.
So I had nothing, couldn't buy weights and all that. So my mom had these 2-liter containers of empty juice containers that she used to buy for my kids when they were in school, right? So when they are empty, she just stack them. So I took 6 of those and I filled them with soil from the garden, right? To create like dumbbells. And then like old broomsticks from her mops and stuff I used to use. I took those and I created like bars out of them.
Wow.
And I started on this fitness journey. So I'm like, 10 days, 2 weeks. I'm seeing, the arms are looking like, you know, things are coming together. I'm seeing some ab lines are showing.
Okay.
You know, I was like, okay, things actually working. Like, you know, this can actually go somewhere, you know.
Wow.
Then I started studying on it and reading like material on healthy eating and all of that and how combining exercise with healthy eating can give you optimum results and stuff. So with what was there, you know, there wasn't a lot like now where I can go and buy whey and do all of that. I was just using what was at home. So I would say to my mom, okay, when you're frying the chicken, just put my pieces aside, I'll boil them. You know, when you're doing a stir fry with the rice, mine just leave it plain and stuff. So I just started like cleaning up my diet, but with what was there. Just go in the garden, you know, take some mureo, do something with it, and I just began to see this transformation with my body, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. So as I began to do that, my confidence just began to grow, and I began to think, okay, so what else can I do now in addition to this? You know, that's now...
Because I've already seen that this works. Already.
This works. So if I was disciplined enough to do this, let me transfer the same discipline into something else. So I said to my mom, you know what, I want to go back to school.
Wow.
You know, and then, registered. And
this is at what age?
36, 37.
Wow. Guys.
I went to first year. I was sitting in the same class with kids my kids' age. Like literally sitting in class with children who were my children's age. It was the hardest decision of my life, let me tell you, because you know the ego.
Yes.
Because now everyone's like, luckily for me, because I didn't really look my age. I just kind of fitted in. People didn't realize that I was actually like, I could be their mother. People didn't realize I would be there. I'd hang out with them. There'll be like discussions. They'd call discussions at in their rooms. I'll just go and I'll attend. I would befriend them. They'll teach me stuff. And I just first year was the hardest because I failed a lot, especially assignments and stuff. Because my brain,
you had a lot to do, or you'd been idle for a while?
Had been idle for a while, so my brain was a little bit underutilized, if I may call it that. So you know, it's like a muscle, your brain. The more you begin to use it,
the better it becomes.
So that was me now trying to just regain my ability to use my brain more effectively and stuff. So the first few months were terrible because I couldn't even retain any knowledge. Like I'd forget stuff easily, I'd fail, I'd come home, I'd cry. I'd cry, I'll tell my mom, you know what, I'm giving up, this is not for me. Why did I even think about doing this? And she'd be like, no, we don't give up, let's keep going. Second year, third year,
things are getting better.
Getting better, now I'm on attachment. Final year, wow, there we are done. Project, class 1, what, done with thing. I didn't even stay home, I think 2 months before I got opportunity to work and stuff. And then the money started coming in. Then I was like, wow, okay, so
boom, 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 everything.
boom,
The
and then
body's doing the things
the
and-
body's doing the things. Then here we're making a little bit
So
of
you
money.
didn't stop. You didn't stop on your fitness journey, correct?
No, up to today.
Guys, she's jacked. I'm gonna put some videos in this podcast so that you guys can see what she looks like. That is not just you hear when you say just the ordinary body, but it's no longer ordinary, like it's not extraordinary. So you'll see some videos.
We make sure like we follow that will of life, eh? So it's a daily process. So I ask myself, right, today spiritually, what have we done? It's a discipline. It doesn't come like magic. It's intentional. You got to make intentional decisions every single day. So make sure you start that day at 3 a.m. like the fitness doctor.
She's
3
throwing
a.m.
fast.
3 a.m. You're in prayer.
Be intentional.
Be intentional. It does not. There's no gift. It's not a gift. It's a decision. So when you see someone is like just rolling out of bed in winter, and you know, like, hey guys,
Most difficult thing.
it's It's not a gift. You don't pray for that. You do it. You make the decision to do it. God's not gonna come and do stuff for you. He'll give you the ability to do it, but you've got to make the decision to say, right, I'm waking up at 3 and I'm doing A, B, C, D.
And that's one problem I've seen with a lot of Christians lately. You know, like they think just praying for hours is just gonna get God to do stuff.
No.
Eh? You need to do stuff yourself. You need to go out there, pick up those 2-liter bottles and say, I'm starting my fitness journey today. You need to go there and enroll for school and like, you know what, I'm at this age, but I still want to learn. You get what I mean?
100%.
So like watching you fail, watching yourself fail, what got you to endure the failure? Like what made you not quit? Because
Okay,
I think it's the easiest thing to quit, eh?
Yeah, quitting is the easiest thing, but then what? Because I ask myself, all right, I quit this and I stop. In another 3 months, in another 6 months, in another year, I'm going to look back. I had done that habit of not completing what I start is something that was not, it's something that I'd done many times before.
Serious?
So yeah, like I'll start something and then I'll stop, start something and stop. And I ask myself, okay, so this is going to be a continuation of a habit that already didn't help me in the past. So perpetuating what I did in the past
Was
and
going to get you the same
it's
result.
still going to get me the same result. So if I want a shift and I want something new, something fresh in my life, there's got to be something different that I'm doing here. Because if I'm going to do the same things, run for a comfort zone, just because something gets a little bit hard, something gets a little bit challenging, the next thing is I'm become a runner. Because when you are a runner, I'm telling you, you run from everything. Hard relationship, you're running. Hard business, you're running. Hard career, you're running. When the children are difficult, you're running. You run every single time. So the running had to come to a stop. And it had to start with my
action, like taking action with your thing.
Exactly. So just sticking it out and just doing my best, giving my 100% to make sure that this thing works. And just at the time I wasn't working with God, so I won't even say and hoping God will help me through, but just hoping that the effort that I'm putting in is going to bring something new, something different. So as long as I've done something I haven't done before, surely the result can't be the same like the previous result.
You can't get the same outcome. Like it reminds me of this quote by Albert Einstein that says insanity is doing the same thing expecting different results.
Exactly.
So maybe you've been stuck in a certain position where you are now. Maybe there's something that's not moving in your life. 2023 was the same. 2022 was the same. 2024 was the same. 2025 is almost looking like it's going to be the same. But maybe it's because you haven't changed certain things that you're doing in your life. You're still sticking to the same habits. You used to wake up late, you're still waking up late. You used to skip the gym, you're still skipping the gym. You used to eat unhealthy, you're still eating unhealthy. So, like she's saying, it took her making the difficult decision. And you know, the decisions, it says, I once heard this thing that says, good habits are difficult to build, but easy to live with. Bad habits are very easy to build, but difficult to live with.
100%.
So, yeah. To anyone who's listening, guys, the hard stuff is worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So so from your journey, you getting your qualification, how did that move then from there?
From getting my
From you getting, you said you got a job after that?
Yeah. So
things were now making sense now.
Things were now beginning to make sense. Yeah, things were just beginning to shangan. You know, like it feels good, you know, to get a salary and, you know, you can walk into a store and buy the things that you want, you know, now like, I can actually now afford to even buy protein powder for my workout.
Wow.
It just felt so good. Like, oh, I can now get, I can afford to get my supplements. Now I can get the fruit, the things that I need to things. So obviously being able to do all of that now meant even better results for my fitness journey, because now, you know, I could afford to do more for myself. I could afford to also start putting money aside, like obviously with discipline, because you know, when you've been broke for so long, then suddenly now you got some money. Hi, outfits must be on point. You want this, you want that,
makeup
everything.
Flicks,
Oh
photos,
everything. You just want, like, they must see me. You know, they thought I was a failure. Now they're gonna see.
I'm gonna show them. They'll be signs.
I'll show them.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, like, thank goodness for having children, because they kind of ground you, and they make you realize that it can't be about, you know, the red bottoms and the makeup. Those things are good and you need to look good.
Yes.
But those are not priorities. So thinking about the kids and thinking, okay, now I'm able to do this. How about we get them to better school? How about we maybe, you know, just expose them to better things.
Okay.
Let me be an example for them. Let them see how I use money effectively and with wisdom and stuff. So I'd sit down with them sometimes and say, guys, so we've got $200 now, so we're going to take $10, we're going to go for pizza, we're going to take $50, we're going to put it aside.
Really? You tell them what you're doing with
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Just so
Were
so
you
that
always
they could...
good with money?
Oh, no.
How did you, at what point did you start getting better, like good with money?
It's so weird that before I started earning the money, I was ill-disciplined. I think when you make the money and you say how hard you have to work, hey!
You're like, you're like, yo, I got this.
It took me to make this $200.
So I have to be disciplined.
Yeah, but when I was being given handouts, it was so easy for me to blow the money. You know, like, I'll get $200 maybe from my sister or something, and I can't even, you know, account for what I did with the money.
Wow.
Before I know it, the money is gone. But when I started earning the 200, you know, the pain of having to work so hard to make that 200, now it meant that, hey, I can't, you know, abuse this money, because hey, what it takes to get it, it's not a joke. So then I'll be like, the kids still need to have nice stuff. So, you know, it's budgeting. Say, okay, $10, I need to take them for pizza. They need to learn how to have good things. Maybe buy them a few clothes, and then we'll say, okay, so much we're saving, guys, because, you know, one day we need to start a business, we need to do this, we need to do that. So we need to have a fund, like a saved fund, where we can get money. Maybe you're not feeling well, you need to go to the dentist or something like that. There's something like a little, you know, stash somewhere to be able to do that. So yeah.
So like before the start of the business, it seems like there was something that came after, because I heard you say you had not yet found your journey with Christ. How did that come about? Like your knowing Christ, because I'm understanding you went through school and you had not yet started your relationship with Christ. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I had this friend of mine. She was actually my really good friend. She used to go to Word of Life. Okay. She used to run a restaurant across the road from the City Hall called Cafe Mnandi. So we were really good friends.
Okay.
And so she started ministering to me and stuff. And she invited me to Word of Life at the time, and I went there, and I think I attended a couple of services. Okay. And then she said to me, no, I need you to go and visit this church. So she referred me to another church where I am now.
River of Life.
Yes, at River of Life. And I then got there, and it just felt like home. So I got born again there, started my journey there. just again, like everything else, made a decision to be committed. If I'm going to do this, let me do it with all of my heart, or let me not do it at all. So I just began baby steps, you know. Remember, I'm coming also from a Muslim background because that's where I was coming from. So things are very different from what I know, from what I understand. So it was trying to adjust, trying to understand, okay, this new environment that I'm finding myself in. I love it, but I don't understand it.
Okay.
And I'm so grateful that the way they showed me a lot of mercy as well, because there was a lot of things I was messing up in my process of trying to adjust. Things like my dressing wasn't right.
Right in what sense? Like, sorry. Sorry.
I know you're gonna cut that. Sorry. As in
Skimpy.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I was coming from a place where, you know, I thought being sexy was being, you know, overly exposed and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but they just embrace me. Sure, I'm choking. They just embrace me and they help me through my journey and stuff like that. No judgment and all that.
Right.
And I began to grow. I began to just love the word. It began to minister to me. I would have the word jumping out of the Bible and literally almost speaking directly to me as I invested time. Just began also to fast like others. So maybe I wouldn't do like many days, but I'll say, oh, you know what, today I'm going to fast just the one day, say from morning until evening and stuff. And I'm like, Lord, speak to me. I need to understand this more. I need to know you more. I need to know what you want me to do with myself, even with this career that I'm now in and stuff. So baby steps, like little bit by little bit. It was literally a journey of baby steps. And before it's amazing what can happen in a month, what can happen in 6 months, what can happen in a year when you're consistent. So if you're consistent, like with something every day, in the middle of the journey, you don't see the changes, right? Like when you are in it, you don't see the change that happens when you've spent 2 hours studying the Bible.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because the word of God is transformative, but you don't see it with your natural self. You know that you've planted a seed that's kind of doing something in you to bring a change, which you don't even realize is happening. Sometimes you look back only 2 years like, oh, wow. So that stuff that I read there, so this is now like what has happened.
Manifesting
exactly.
now.
And that's the beauty with God's word. It's so subtle in its transformative power that you don't even realize it until either years later you look back or other people say to you, oh, you have changed.
Yeah, you're calmer now. You don't react to things
like
you're
calm.
used to.
You know, you just even you talk different. You've got so much wisdom or whatever the case is. Like other people see it, you yourself don't even see it.
You don't see it.
You don't realize
that's
that.
That's how change is. It's a funny thing. Like change, you never really see it there and there. Like, but it's the people that are outside. Like I heard this thing where people say, try and detach from wanting to see results, because the more you see, like the more you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, the more you see yourself failing instead of it being a journey.
Exactly. Exactly. And you look, the way God works, that's why the Bible says that for as far as the heavens are above the earth, his ways are not ours. You know, God doesn't work the way you expect him to work within the time frame that you expect him to work. So sometimes you'll be like, you know, this thing is not even working. I've been studying the Bible for all of this time. I've been praying for all of this time. I've been fasting, whatever. I've been giving. I've been tithing. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I'm not even seeing the result. That's because you are working with the natural time. God works with his time using a wisdom that is beyond human comprehension. So there you are about to give up maybe a day or a week or a month before your breakthrough. So you have to learn with God. You have to learn patience. You have to learn endurance. You have to learn consistency. You've got to keep holding on and just never giving up, because you know at the appointed time, like the Bible says, at the appointed time. So not at your appointed time.
The Lord will
make it happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it happens at the time that God has seen fit.
Wow.
Not at the time you see fit. Maybe you're not mature enough to handle whatever it is that you're
Hey,
trying
we're talking
to.
about this before
Yeah,
the podcast.
yeah.
That sometimes we pray for things that we're not able to handle. Like
You're not able. So that's why it's got to be God's time and not your time. Because if it's your time, it gives you something that will take you to distraction.
Osh.
You know? I mean, I've seen so many people changed completely just because the $5,000 came into their pocket. If you get Shanice by 5,000, I mean,
add more zeros.
and then you're busy praying. Hey, I need to be a multi-millionaire. You know, I need to be a
When
kingdom
we had to
financer.
say 5,000.
Hey, then you buy a Honda Fit or something big.
Yo.
You know.
Yeah.
God is like, hey, G-Wagon, my guy.
Yo.
The Honda Fit, this is what it's doing now. You've got 10 girlfriends because you've now got a new Honda Fit. So what will you do?
On that point,
what will you do when we give you a G-Wagon? You know.
So what has actually kept you grounded?
Hi.
What has actually kept you grounded on that point? What has kept you grounded in gaining so much mileage but staying there? Like, because I would like to say you are, like, with what you've achieved, you're very humble for what you've achieved. Eh? Like, what has kept you there?
Am I?
Yeah, no, like, honestly, if someone was just to see you just having the time of your life, just walking outside, they wouldn't even think you have gotten to what you've gotten now. Like, you are going for the third shop now, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and other things. But
Yeah.
What kept you grounded?
I think it's the knowledge. You know, I think people don't appreciate, or we all don't appreciate, the value of humble beginnings or the value of having nothing. I feel that when a lot comes to you, when you are in a good space, you don't really value what moved you from nothing to something.
Wow.
You understand? So I think for me, when I look back and I see like nothing was absolutely nothing, like zero direction, headed for destruction,
Yeah.
to see myself where I am now, I know that it could have only been God. So I think it's the humility that comes from knowing that it can never have been me. That, you know, it was just God's abundant mercy that he saw something in me that even I didn't even see in myself. He saw a vessel that he could use to impact this generation in a way that I didn't even know that I had the capacity to.
Okay.
So it's the humility that comes from that, comes from the knowledge that, yay, right now I should be in a grave. But I'm not. And the only reason that I'm not is because of God's tender mercies and loving kindness. Because legitimately, when I think back about my life and think about all the things that I did, I should be in the grave.
Wow.
Like, literally, should be in the grave. I should not be standing here. So, thinking about my life that way and thinking about the journey, the processes, just thinking of seeing how God has shown up for me in the most astounding, undeserved ways. I think that is what has kept me grounded. That is what has kept me knowing that for sure, this is not a mal. That has nothing to do with a mal. This has everything to do with the tender mercies of God.
Wow, that's so refreshing, eh? That is so refreshing. So to any lady, for not even specific to gender, to anyone who's watching there, like, you know, they are probably at the stage you were at 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where they've got no idea what to do. They've got kids to take care of, they've got bills to take care of, they've got nothing really going on, they don't have a job, they don't have anything. What is it that you would sit down and tell them that maybe start from here?
Yeah.
And this is not like a life formula. This is an Amal formula.
Yeah.
Something that you worked for you, how you did it. Like, it's not like you got it from somewhere else. This is something that worked for your own life.
Yeah. Okay. I would say that the best beginning which I didn't even know myself because I didn't really have somebody like mentoring me at the time,
Okay.
is self-discovery. I feel like if somebody had said to me, spend time knowing you, block everything else, block trying to go to school, block trying to start a business, block trying to get into a relationship, or any of these things that we think is what we should do in order to become wholesome in ourselves. I wish somebody would have said, you know what, stop everything and just spend time trying to discover you. Because it is in the discovery of you that you will realize what you are who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, and with who you're supposed to be doing it. So we are like, hey, hamba escolo, or start a business, your life's gonna be okay, or you're looking to get into a relationship because you're looking for somebody who's going to validate you. No, none of that stuff will ever work. Even that job, if you get it, or that career, if you could start a career God was never ever ordained you to be in. Maybe you're busy trying to be an engineer when you're supposed to be a fitness trainer, or you're busy trying to be a fitness trainer when you're supposed to be a doctor. And the time that you spend trying to be something that God never said you to be is wasted time, because you realize, I've graduated, now I'm a doctor, I'm mean to patients because I'm in the wrong place.
Wow.
I'm a knife trying to be a spoon.
You are a utensil, yes? God intended for you to be a utensil, but just not a knife. Or just not a spoon.
Or just not a spoon. Why? Because you never spent time just actually thinking, you know what, who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? What did you call me here to be? Because that's where the secret is. That's the $1 million question. If you can find that, that's where your millions lie.
Sure.
Your money lies in your purpose. Your blessings, they lie in your purpose. Outside of your purpose, you're going to just be surviving. Enough, that 1K, just enough just to, pay your rent, buy your food, send your kids to school. 1 month is over, next month. So you're just operating on survival. Never progressing, never upgrading, because you're just operating on survival mode. But the day you self-discover, you actually realize that I am called to be this. I promise you that is the day that your life will scale to levels that you never imagined. Because the anointing of God comes upon purpose, not upon work or a job or anything like that. God's anointing comes upon purpose. God's blessings chase purpose. Money chases purpose. Because purpose, you do something effortlessly. It's so within you, second nature to you. Like if you just make the mistake of talking to him about health and fitness, I will take you to town. Make the mistake. Like I would, because it flows from here. I love it so much. I feel like I'm not working. It's not, it literally doesn't feel like work. I feel like sometimes, I actually make money from enjoying myself, having fun. Because
so true,
this does not feel like work, So, and that's where we all should be. If we can all self-discover, we will never work a day in our lives. It will feel like, wow, just enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
And then someone is paying me to enjoy my life.
And it comes with a lot of fulfillment, because you can get 50,000, a job that pays you 50,000 a month.
Yeah.
And someone can be in their purpose and they get 500 a month. But they will be more fulfilled in what they are doing as compared to you because you see, it's not about the money. People have just made a lot of things about materialism, but there's a lot of people that are feeling empty. This is why, like you said earlier, you said you will find a millionaire or a billionaire still committing suicide. Why? Because there's that void
that
emptiness. They thought money
Yeah.
would fill, but never filled it.
Never feels. So the life almost feels worthless. Like, okay, I've made the millions, but what? Why am I still feeling so empty? Why am I still feeling so worthless? Why am I still feeling like I don't know why I'm here? Like I'm just floating through life and there's no direction. The money is there, yes. It can buy me houses, I've bought the houses. It can buy me a yacht, I've bought the yacht. It can buy me clothes, I've bought the clothes. can get me whatever I want, everything I've got, but I'm still, so now what? Because all the things that I thought were valuable to me, I've got them. Now what? It doesn't make sense. So the next best thing is, you know what, let me exit this place. Because my life is not making sense. I've done everything that I thought there was to do. I've attained everything I thought there was to attain. Materially, I've got everything, but still not making sense. But it's the purpose that's a driving factor. That every day you're like, wow, you know, this purpose is taking me somewhere. This thing is God ordained, and it's meant to impact a generation. So for me, when I think about myself, I was like, wow, I can't afford to fail. If I fail, somebody's going to die because of my failure. Literally, there's somebody, maybe not today, maybe next month, 2 years from now, who's supposed to cross my life, who I'm supposed to impact so their life can turn around. But if I fail, I give up now, that person, I'm going to have to answer for that person. I'm going to have to stand before God one day and say, and God will be like, okay, you decided in 2025 to give up, and because you gave up in 2025, somebody you're supposed to meet in 2028 ended up giving up and committing suicide because you failed to get yourself to a level where you could meet up with them and turn their life around. Minister Jesus, pay their school fees, maybe give them some money, start a business, whatever the case is. You failed to do that because you gave up on your purpose. So it scares me when I think about that. I think about that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I need to constantly wake
I
up
better
and face
keep
my
on
purpose.
this, and I better invest in my purpose every single day. Otherwise, I'm going to answer for someone's blood one day.
I like how you say there's that one person who you have to meet in 2020. It's not always about the numbers. You know, people have made influence a big thing, you know, but impact is not something that's really recognized nowadays. There's a difference between influence and impact. Influence is just people seeing you from the outside and they're like, I like to be like
and celebrating you from
Then impact is actually you impacting something in their life that will change, that their lives will never be the same just
100%.
because they crossed paths with you.
I agree. And for me, I try and make intentional decisions like every week. At least let me sit down with one young lady and just take them for coffee. Some of them have never been like to a coffee shop or restaurant. You know, just somebody who has never had the opportunity to experience stuff. Just sit with them, you know, just listen to their heart. So I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm taking you on a date on Saturday. Let's go to the veranda or the Bowery, someplace nice that they've never been, and just hear their hearts, their concerns, their plans and stuff, and just speak into them, try and help them along with the journey that they want to embark on. Just be a support structure for them and just walk with them until they achieve the things that they want to achieve. So for me, it's something that is really close to my heart. So I try and do that at least one of my babies every week, whether it's from church or somebody at the restaurant or somebody that I feel needs my maybe my attention. Maybe they're not in such a great space, and maybe even at home things are not working like they should. Just walk with them and just be impactful, like you're saying. Just be that person that goes in there and, you know, turns their situation around. Doesn't even have to be a lot of money. Doesn't have to be much. You know, just sitting with somebody sometimes and just speaking to them and just speaking a few words of wisdom here and they just plant a seed. But they'll take home and say, wow, you know, she's called me pretty. She said I'm super intelligent. She said I'm going to achieve great things in life. It can do so much to someone. You'll be so shocked, like how just those positive words. Sometimes these kids have never even heard those things.
That's true.
Like at home, someone is like, Vele, when you're down, or you know, uzagufu utubega, or you know, uzafele jele, or something like that. You know, like kids are naughty, and sometimes as parents we become, you know, overly reactive to the stuff that they do. Instead of nurturing them, we speak words that are destructive, and you find the child ends up, you know, in a space that's counterproductive. So I just want to be that person that, you know, in the midst of all of that, just sow seeds of Yeah, positivity, seeds of upliftment and stuff like that. Just,
Wow.
you know, if you can pay their fees, go ahead and do that. If you can give somebody $100 to start a business, it's not going to break the bank. I mean, you're going to probably take that $100, buy airtime, maybe buy pizza or whatever, and yet somebody's life can be changed from that. So,
Wow.
yeah, so little things like that, they go a long way. So that's impact. It's not about being an influencer, you know, and posting things on Instagram and getting likes and stuff. I mean, what's the like going to do? You know, it's okay to have the likes. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but let them convert into real impact, touching real people's lives in a real way so that tomorrow somebody can look back and say, wow, if it wasn't for Tapia, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Amal, I wouldn't be here, you know?
All right. So as we round up, like there's a question I usually ask people, like, if you had to go back into time and speak to the 9-year-old Amal, like, what would you tell her? What would you tell the 9-year-old Amal like that? I've seen the future, like where you are now. You're like, just, I need to tell you these few things. What would you tell her?
Wow. I think what I spoke to you about self-discovery. I think if I could have somebody even at that age having told me the same thing as a 9-year-old, I think I would have been in I would have been in a much better place because I would have not wasted time doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. For example, at that age, I loved experimenting, right? I remember I used to love mixing things and seeing how is this going to work because I'm a researcher by nature.
Okay.
I love to see the outcome of things. So I'll mix this and I'll say, oh, okay, let me try it for a month. Let's see how it's going to work and all of that. So if at 9, somebody would have said to me, no, you don't have to go through high school, busy spending time doing geography and history and all of these things that are irrelevant to the passion that you have, I would have been like, wow, because then at that age, I go straight into the things that I'm passionate about instead of spending time doing geography, history, things that are totally irrelevant. I'm not saying those things are bad, but I'm saying that the system now, the school system, for example, even as parents, we have been like wired to think, you know what, they must do English, they must do Ndebele, they must do geography, and yet you don't even know that this child is busy showing you the gift that they have at 9, right? They're showing you that I'm a researcher, or they're showing you that I'm a musician, or they're showing you traits that exposing to traits that are what they should be doing, and you're busy forcing them to do certain things. So if I was a 9-year-old, I would have been like, I would want to do the things that I am called to do and start them at that age so that by the time I am 20, what 50-year-olds are trying to achieve,
You are achieving it.
I've already achieved it
At half
at
the
20,
age.
at half the age. For me, honestly, I feel like we waste a lot of time doing things that we shouldn't be doing. And for me, that would be the word that I would have for my 9-year-old, for a 9-year-old, or for myself at 9, would have been self-discovery. See, I'm big on self-discovery. I've realized how lack of self-discovery has destroyed me in the sense that I've wasted so much time trying to do stuff that I shouldn't be doing. You know, and I've encouraged even my kids in the same way. I wish I had known that when they were 5, 6. I'd have known that this one is a future architect because I can see how they love designing and whatnot, and push them in that direction from a young age. So yeah, for me, self-discovery, I can't emphasize it enough. And for me, it's really like something that grips my heart because I see how a lot of people are getting lost trying to do stuff that they've no business doing.
Wow. Guys, I think we're going to call it for another episode because there's a lot that we didn't actually talk about, like the birth of Shaken Toss, like her baby. We're going to call it for another one and we have a conversation because this was just jam packed. Like wisdom. We need to just milk it out bit by bit.
Yeah, I would be
Wow.
so happy to come back. I'll be so
Wow.
happy to come back. There's a lot to share.
Yeah.
There's a lot of experiences to share. And for me, I'm happy sharing even the bad ones. Because we need to be real about this stuff.
Yes, yes.
Can't be telling you only the good stuff, like making it look like, we just landed.
Ish.
Like it just happened. Like,
Yo.
no.
There was a process
There
to
was a
it.
process. Sometimes you fall and you pick yourself up again and you start again. You fall, you pick yourself up again and you start again. Sometimes you do really great. Sometimes you make really terrible mistakes, whether it's personally or in business, whatever. But the idea here is that we fall and we pick ourselves again. So the journey was not smooth. There was lots of valleys and lots of mountains, And yes, some places were level. We moved faster in the leveled areas. But, when we were in the valleys and we had to climb the mountains, it wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
You fall flat on your face, but the idea always is never stay where you're falling. Dust yourself and pick yourself up again and keep going.
Wow, that was amazing, guys. Thank you so much, Amal, for coming through, and I really appreciate the things that you've shared with not only me but the world at large. Like, it really went a long way.
Thank you
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me. Thank you for trusting me with the little wisdom, the little knowledge I have for these amazing people. It's an honor and a privilege. And guys, next level. If you haven't been to this shop.
Come to the next level shop, guys.
If you haven't been to this shop, the truth, maybe it's actually these t-shirts that actually help me think better sometimes. So make sure you are here getting one of these. I'm actually going to, probably check out what's there and get myself something new.
Wow.
Because they help me think better and they help me work out better.
Thank you so much, Amal.
thank
It's your
you.
boy
Thank
Tapio
you.
Azimamba, the fitness doctor, and your girl.
Amal.
Shout out, guys.